How's it going? My name is Jackson Miller. I have 23 credit cards at the moment, and I've racked up over 2.5 million points over the course of my point collecting and redeeming journey. So this video is going to be targeted towards those of you who are newer to the points collecting game, who maybe are considering signing up for some new credit cards. Maybe you have your eye on a specific card and you're wondering, should I sign up for this card? Well, before you apply, I think there are a few things that are crucial to consider. I'm going to share 5 things with you today. In the video title, I said 3 things because people like the number 3. They click on the number 3. I actually clickbaited you, but I'm giving you more than you expected. So you're welcome. Let's get started with number 1. Let's just get this out of the way. If you have credit card debt, I recommend that you work on paying that off. You should not apply for any new credit cards with the goal of obtaining points. I know this might hurt to hear. Instead, you may want to consider signing up for a credit card with a 0% APR for 6 to 24 months, transfer over your balance, work on paying that off. You'll feel a weight lifting off your shoulders, and then you can come back and learn about the world of redeeming and earning credit card points. Number 2, always consider the current sign-up bonus versus the historical maximum or lifetime high sign-up bonus of the card. You basically only ever want to apply for a card if the sign-up bonus is the highest it's ever been or very close to it. If you have your heart set on a card and the sign-up bonus is just not great, be patient. Sign-up bonuses go up and down throughout the year. I guarantee you in 3 or 4 months that sign-up bonus will go back up. Sometimes you may have to wait a year. Just be patient. There is always a card out there that's worth applying for. The way that we get maximum value in this game is by signing up for cards when they have excellent sign-up bonuses and waiting when they don't. 3 is eligibility. So obviously you need to find out if you're eligible to receive a certain card and, more importantly, the sign-up bonus associated with that card. But you also need to consider how signing up for this card will affect your eligibility for other cards that you have your eye on applying for in the future. Credit card companies have complicated eligibility requirements that vary from issuer to issuer, and maneuvering through all this fine print and finding the loopholes is basically the whole name of the game. So at the very least, you're going to want to click terms and conditions and read the fine print regarding eligibility for a sign-up bonus on any given card before you apply. But you're also going to want to probably take a look at some blogs and online resources and just do a little bit of digging on your own. I'm going to highlight a few examples of eligibility rules that I think are important to keep in mind when you're starting out, but this is by no means a comprehensive list. For Capital One, you can only ever have 2 Capital One credit cards open at any given time, and this includes business and personal cards. Capital One is very conservative with their approvals, especially if you have a lot of credit cards. So if you want a venture card or any Capital One card, you should definitely apply before you have maybe 5 to 8 credit cards. Chase's 524 is probably the most famous eligibility rule. You can only be approved for a Chase credit card if you have opened less than 5 credit cards in the last 24 months from any issuer. This does not include most business cards, which is why a lot of us sign up for a lot of business cards. Bank of America. There's not a single card that I've been denied for more than the Bank of America Alaska cards. And I'm planning on applying again within the next month, so stay tuned, we'll see if I get approved. Bank of America has a rule similar to Chase's 524, but it's a 3-12 rule. So if you've been approved for more than 3 cards from any issuer in the last 12 months, you are not eligible. But if you do have a banking relationship with Bank of America, then that changes into a 7-12 rule, which is obviously much more forgiving. Fingers crossed that I get approved. 4th time's the charm, hopefully. If I get denied again, I am never applying for a Bank of America card again. Of course, that's what I said last time. For American Express, you can only ever have 5 Amex cards open at any given time, and this includes both personal and business cards. This does not, however, apply to Amex's charge cards, cards like the Amex Platinum, the Gold, and the Green. You can generally only receive a welcome bonus on an Amex card once in your lifetime. Reports online show that lifetime actually means more like 7 years. You can get around this by using special links that you can find online. Some referral links don't have the language that prohibits you from receiving a bonus if you've already received it in the past. If you want to try to look for these online, just search for Amex NLL offer. And lastly, I'll talk about Marriott for a second. Oh boy, Marriott. Marriott has a lot of great cards. Most of them come with free annual nights, which means it can be smart to have several Marriott cards so that you can pair those nights together. In addition, Marriott often has insane welcome bonuses, especially the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless. The downside is that Marriott makes it very difficult to get a sign-up bonus from Amex or Chase if you have recently received a sign-up bonus for any other Marriott card from Amex or Chase. It is possible to maneuver around these rules and build up 3, 4, maybe even 5 Marriott cards. But you have to apply for them in the right order, and you have to wait in between each application. Now, this is so complicated that people have made matrices and charts online detailing Marriott eligibility, and I highly recommend you check them out because Marriott cards are great. I personally have 2, and I'll be applying for a 3rd very soon here. So those are a few things I just wanted to touch on in terms of eligibility. You're going to want to do your own research before applying for any card. Number 4 is synergy. How will this card pair with your current cards and those that you plan to apply for in the future? For example, the Chase Freedom cards pair very well with the Sapphire cards because you can transfer your points from your Freedom card to your Sapphire and redeem them at a higher rate. For airline cards and hotel cards, often there will be a business card that's very similar to one of the personal credit cards, and it can make a lot of sense to sign up for both of these cards. That way you can earn a larger pool of points and more free annual nights each year. Another reason that it can make sense to sign up for more than one card from a given airline or hotel is that if you do need to close one of those cards, you'll still have one card open, and so those points will still never expire. Speaking of canceling cards, this brings me to number 5. Long-term plan. What is your long-term plan for this card? And there are basically 2 routes here. If a card is bringing you more value each year than what it costs to keep open in terms of the annual fee, then it probably is what we call a keeper card. Just put an occasional purchase on it every month or every few months, hang on to that card, and just continue to get value each year out of the benefits. A common example of this is a hotel credit card, which gives you a free annual night and costs maybe $95 or $99 to keep open. But of course, the cost of that free annual night would far exceed that annual fee. That's why a lot of us have many hotel credit cards and just keep them open year after year. So what if you don't necessarily want to keep a card? Maybe you signed up for it just for that sign-up bonus. Well, that's okay, but don't cancel the card, and definitely don't cancel it within the first year. And in fact, if you do, most banks reserve the right to actually claw back those points, and many of them actually follow through on this. So definitely don't cancel in the first year. But really, there's not much of a reason to cancel at all. Instead, you're going to keep the card open for close to 2 years, definitely more than 1 year. And before that 3rd annual fee kicks in, you're going to downgrade the card. Most cards with an annual fee can be downgraded to a similar card that has no annual fee or a card with much lower annual fees. In order to do this, you're just going to call the number on the back of your card. You're going to ask the representative what options there are in terms of downgrades. They'll be able to help you out. It's usually very quick. Now, even if you consider a card to be a keeper card, it can still make sense to downgrade. Why? If a card is great, why get it just once? There are a lot of cards where if you wait a certain number of years, you are eligible to receive that sign-up bonus again, but you're not in fact eligible to sign up for the card if you already have that card open. So what we do is we downgrade that card to a different card, wait a few billing cycles, and sign up for that card again. So one common example of this is Chase Sapphire cards. If you have a Chase Sapphire card and you've had it open for more than 4 years, you can actually downgrade that card to a Freedom card and apply for another Chase Sapphire, and you will get that welcome bonus again. Just make sure that it has been 48 months since you received that previous sign-up bonus. Now, there are a lot of cards where you only have to wait 2 years. Each card is kind of different. And I know that it can suck to wait those 2 years or 4 years till you can receive that sign-up bonus again. But guess what? There are a lot of other great credit cards that you can sign up for during that time. And that's basically it. Those were my top 5 things to consider before applying for any credit card. I hope these were helpful. If you feel so inclined, I would love it if you subscribed, but either way, thanks for watching. I've got a lot more videos in the pipeline, and I'm eager to share some more advanced tips and tricks when it comes to earning and redeeming credit card miles. So stay tuned.